welcome to the Richmond Jiu-Jitsu Academy. My name is Eric Berto. This is my friend and training partner, Jarrett Church. Today we're going to be working on just some basic rear mount chokes. I'm going to go over some fine details and point out some common mistakes that people make when they do these chokes. So 2 hooks in, over-under control or harness control. Okay. Ideally, I always want to start my chokes on the side of my arm that's under. This is what I call a feeder hand, and the arm that's over is what I call an attack hand. I'm going to discuss in a minute what happens if we're on the other side. But I'm going to fall to the side of my feeder hand. So here we are. I have a nice harness control. I'm going to use my feeder hand to open Jarrett's collar, and I turn it inside out with my thumb to make a nice lip for my fingers to fit inside of. I want to make sure there's no gaps. If it's loose here, it's easier to defend. So I use that hand to feed it into my palm. Most people go hunting, which is fine. I prefer to feed. I prefer to deliver the gi over to my attack hand. Now from here, the feeder hand can do a bunch of different things. The first choke we're going to do is called a collar and lapel choke. So I feed the collar. Now the hand transfers to the opposite side lapel. You see? I'm going to put my foot on his hip, and I push down on his hip and pull on his neck to transfer his weight over to his right side. So I push down on the hip and pull, which puts me over here on the right side. From here, my arms are going to go straight as I lean away and I push my hips forward. Common mistake, people stay very close and try to squeeze. It takes a lot of energy. It's much easier just to lean away and literally hang off your partner's neck with your hips pushed forward until your partner taps. Second choke has the same beginning as the collar and lapel choke. I'm going to use my feeder hand to open the collar and deliver it to my attack hand. Now this time, I'm going to put my foot on the hip. I'm going to pull the collar across, and as he's going to his right, I'm going to open his left elbow out and away from his rib cage. I come high with my hand, bringing his elbow above his head, and then I chop down with the backside of my palm behind his neck. My elbows are bent right now. I'm going to lean away and straighten my arms as I push my hips forward to finish what we call the single wing choke. So, common mistakes when people do the single wing choke. Oftentimes what happens is they'll try to reach up here in the armpit, but Jarrett's arm is strong. He can clamp his elbow down, and I'll never get my hand behind his neck. So it's a circular process. My thumb's pointing out like a hitchhiker. I open his elbow away from his body. Then I come high, bringing his elbow above his shoulder. That makes his rotator cuff weak. And then I drop my hand down and deep behind his neck. From here, I lean away, straightening my arms. This hand is pulling, this hand is pushing. So I have a push-pull pressure as I lean away to straighten my arms, and I engage my hips forward. The last choke we're going to be working on is the bow and arrow choke. Same beginning. I feed the collar into my attack hand. My right hand is the attack hand. My right foot's going to go on Jarrett's right hip. As I push on his hip and pull with my hand, I'm going to reach down and grab the outside of his pant. Now I'm going to transfer my leg up his chest, bringing this leg over his shoulder, and I finish by wrapping my leg over the top, crossing my ankles. Now from here, it's just push-pull. I lean back, push my hips forward, and pull the grips to me. Okay guys, I have the same position, but this time my feeder hand is up and my attack hand is down, unlike what we did previously. So if I try to feed my thumb in the collar, there's this big gap, and it's hard for me to pull because Jarrett's laying on my bicep, trapping my tricep to the floor. So before I even feed, I like to lean forward and rip my elbow back. It's almost like a kickstand. Now my feeder hand can feed the attack hand, and it's nice. And then I can go to any of my 3 variations. I can go collar and lapel, single wing, or bow and arrow. Thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed the techniques. If you're ever in Richmond, Virginia, please stop in and see us at Richmond BJJ Academy. That's richmondbjj.com. Thanks.